You fucking muck. Do you know who you're messing with?
What are you looking at? You fucking bitch! Come here, say something. Shut your mouth. Just now.
Do you know who you're messing with, you mugs? Do you know who you're messing with?
Who are we messing with?
You fucking mug. Do you know who you're messing with?
Who?
Go home, man.
Who are we messing with?
Go home.
Return back!
The Queen, you're an embarrassment to your own country. You're sitting by and allowing our country to be taken over by foreign immigration. This is a Christian country. God save the Queen. This area is bombed by the Luftwaffe. Our grandparents lived in this area before they were forced out by waves of mass immigration. This is still a British Christian area. This is our city and our country.
What are you doing here?
Are you drunk?
Why don't you go back to your own manor?
This is my manor.
Get out. Get out.
So are we.
Do you know? No, stop it, stop it.
Just being moved out of East London now by the police. They've served the section 14. If I turn this camera around, you can see there is hundreds of Muslims all around us trying to cause trouble, trying to attack us, spitting at us, throwing eggs, throwing stones. But it's not them that's driven.
One thing we could see on this rather grim Sunday morning. First of all, we don't hear the church bells ringing like we used to of days of old. I myself remember during my childhood, I would wake up and hear the church bell ringing in tune, reminding us that it was a Christian country. Those were the days. But then, of course, all good things comes to an end. We no longer hear the church bell ringing, but rather a rather hoarse and horrible sound, the Muslim cry to prayer. And it is a horrible sound because it comes from deep within something that is evil, unsavory. A gangster type Allah who demands blood to those who rejects Islam or those who leave Islam. Now, England and France, far more than America to my knowledge, is saturated with this Muslim problem, and people are naturally concerned that their anxieties are not being addressed. Britain's first. Yes, I admire what they are doing. I do admire what they are doing, although I do question whether they are Christians or not, whether they're Christians as we understand Christianity to be, or whether they mean state Christianity. The two is different. I know they were quoting from the Bible, but even the devil does that himself. Doesn't make you a Christian. However, I do admire what they're trying to do, and that is to raise awareness to the Muslim problem. And I'll tell you why. Was it not for the Britons first, we would not have been aware that Sharia law is already in operation in London, Birmingham, Bradford, Manchester. Wherever you encounter Muslim enclave, you are going to see the stubbornness and the ignorance of Muslims who see it fit that they can practice their religion. No matter what the country's laws are, they totally dismiss that. And the reason being, and that is Muhammad lay down, wherever I think it's 20 Muslims are, you build a mosque. You leave your scent like an animal. You leave your scent, leave your fingerprint. And that is how Islam is spread. However, we also do not have Sharia law, we also have Muslim patrol. Now this I find to be quite contemptuous, because how can you lay down Muslim laws, customs in a country that is not Muslim, but they do it anyway? So you see a Muslim coming to you say we can't drink. It's a Muslim area. To be honest, I'd love to try it on me. I'd come back and I'd sort you all out. You're not going to tell me what to do in a country that is not Muslim. I would come back and I won't want to tell you what I would do. Right? But you see these people actually obeying these Muslims. They're not even policemen. You got these people obeying these Muslims, walk around with their beard. You can't drink, you can't drink. And worse still, there is no police around to stop these pseudo type prefects from handing out their capital punishment. This is what England and Paris has descended into. Total spiritual anarchy. You got one law there and one law here. You think, wait there, which law do you follow? Do you follow Sharia law, or do you follow English law, or French laws? And that is what they've done. They've created this confusion, and the reason being because the Prime Minister or the leaders of this country are too cowardly to deal with Muslims. Too cowardly. Now you ask the question, what is the way forward? What is the way forward? How do we deal with these bombings? How do we deal with these Muslim virus? Before I go into that, if you notice on the video how fearful the police were, because they've been given by MI6 not to arrest these Muslims. So what these Muslims do when they abuse your child, abuse your daughter, put on the streets, don't arrest them. That's how terrified the white man has become over these Muslims. They become terrified. The white man has met his match. And the reason being, Muslims do not fear death. Fearing death is normal. Nobody wants to grow old and wither like a leaf in autumn season. Nobody wants to decay. But the religion of Islam is a religion of death. Most Muslims, when they're born, they're ugly. They have nothing to lose. So to them, death is a redeemer for them. But Islam is a death cult, a death and sex cult. So they will die for Islam. That's the nature of what they are. They have darkness within them. They have no life. The leader of their religion and the source of their religion is blood Lord against the Lord. Call it death. So to them, death is nothing. These people have no life in them, no love in them. They can't love. They don't know what love is. Which is why they can brutalize their own daughters in what you call honor marriages. They don't love their own family. It's all about Islam, Islam. You ask them to define Islam, they can't. Because Islam don't mean peace. It might do in Arabic, but it doesn't mean that in practice. Islam means death and misery. So they're not terrified of the police. The police are terrified of Muslims. The white man don't want to die. The white man's got his lovely family, you know, he wants to get to university, etc. The white man wants to live. But the Muslim, he's born to die. He's an ugly git. He's got nothing to lose. He might as well die. And he thinks he's dying for a noble cause. What I find worse is these white liberals, when the Britons first were screaming that these Muslim paedophile gang group were getting away with him, and they go, ah, you racist, you racist. I think, wait there. Forget the racist part. Were these Muslims actually abusing these girls? Yes, they were. Did you have a team of Muslims, both London, Bradford, even Wolverhampton, which not many people know about, who were sexually abusing 10-year-old white girls, putting them on the streets, prostituting them? Yes, it happened. So where's the race card? This is what white liberals do all the time. They love to use the race card. Deal with the facts. Deal with the facts. These Muslim men do have a problem with sex. And sex with minors. It's not a racist issue. It's a science issue. I would like these white liberals. You love Muslims so much. Why don't you go to Arabia? Why do you go to real deep Muslim countries and see and really see what's going on? Don't be a white liberal, be cheap. Unless you walk the walk and talk the talk. Go to Arabia, go to a Muslim country where women are seen as piece of shit. And you come back and tell me you're a white liberal. No. You know, this is the video which I have to make. However, please, if you haven't subscribed, please press a button right now. This is going to get heated. This is going to get hot. So please don't miss out. Subscribe. What is the solution to the virus? You see, on the computer, you got a virus. You go to, there's so many different softwares that you can deal with it. Unfortunately, when it comes to Muslims and what they're doing, this is it. Muslims are evil. I've studied Islam all my life. I've debated these Muslims. They are liars. Muslims are the biggest liars on earth. I know what they're capable of doing. Muslims are, they don't value your contracts because you're a kafir. They'd watch you die on the road if they get away with it. How do you deal with such people that's immune from human emotion? You can't. There's only one way to deal with them. Remove them from your country. That's the only way. Britain's First has got the right idea. If you can't abide by the laws of the land, what the hell you're doing here? Why do you want to live near Kaffers? Women with big breasts running around on the beach? Why? What's going on in your brain? That you want to live near women with big breasts on the beach? Why do you go back to Muslim countries and watch them all covered up? Like a brolly? I'll tell you why. Your reasons and motives are dodgy. However, your government will not listen to you. Your government are too wrapped up. They're drunk on oil. The Muslim oil have drunk them. You say, look, there's a Muslim problem in London. Oh, where's the oil? Where's the oil? There's Muslim, grooming little girls in Birmingham. Oh, your leader are drunk on Muslim oil. They can't see right. They can't see sense. Their brain is full of oil. So what's the solution? You have to hit the government where it hurts. Get as many signatures as possible, as many as possible. You find out if these people are genuine by arranging to meet up, and you don't pay your council tax for 1 month. You will see the government move. We have to make sure that this when you don't pay your council tax, not just 1 or 2, but the whole mass of you, and refuse to pay for 1 month. Why? The government are your employees. You employ them. You have a right under constitutional law to bring your government to account for what's happening in England, Paris, or America. They are supposed to safeguard your safety. They're not doing that. Because of their love of oil, they are compromising your well-being. They are compromising your national security because of their love of oil. And you have every right. You have every right not to pay your council tax for a whole month. But I would say don't do it individually. Make sure you do it as a mass. That will frighten them. There's only one thing that makes the government tick: money. They worship money. You can march the cows come home. It won't solve anything. You have to hit the government where it hurts, and that is their pockets. Gone are the days of Guy Fawkes where you bomb down Parliament and all that. Them days are over. All these smart cameras and everything, them days are over. You have to hit them where it hurts, their pockets. You have every right to feel safe in your country. If you don't feel safe and you have a valid reason why, then your government should be brought for account. If you don't feel safe in your country as a result of the government's strange and greedy foreign policy, then you have every right to muster up as many people as possible and refuse to pay your council tax. And you will see how the government suddenly awaken from the grave with the vampire teeth, looking for the ounce of blood. They got their money. You will see changes, quick changes. Under constitutional law, the government is supposed to be answerable to you. You employ them. They're not above you. You're above them. They should serve you. You don't serve them. But we've been so brainwashed. We end up believing that the government's supposed to be over us. No, no, no. That's recent philosophy. That's recent social changes. Was it not for us, the government would not be in power. But they seem to forget that because we forget it. We don't realize how powerful our vote is. Obviously, if Britain leaves EU, it gives us a greater Although for business it's a bad move, but regarding Muslims, it gives us a better position because they won't be appealing to Hague or whatever. Once they start to do some terrorist business, kick them out. But me, I'm more hardcore than that. They have to do some kind of allegiance to Britain. You see, if I go to Arabia, I'm allowed to go to Arabia unless I declare with my lips, La ilaha shahilat illallah, right, meaning there is no God but Muhammad. That's the only visa that allows me into Mecca. Meaning only Muslims are allowed in Mecca. Then please apply the same test here. Unless the Muslims acknowledges the Bible, acknowledges the Queen as the head of the church, they should not be allowed here either. It plays both ways. We can't go to Mecca, they can't come here. I told you I'm a tough cookie. I told you. I know what these Muslims are. And as you watch my series of videos, when I start to look at the Quran and the Hadiths, you'll begin to realize why I'm so diehard, why I'm so staunch against these Muslims. Unless you can declare the Queen, Her Majesty, with your lips, you should not be given access into Britain. You have to show that your nature and your character isn't incompatible with British values of tolerance and living together. You can't live with us because you're not tolerant. Your religion makes you not tolerant. I don't give a damn what David Cameron or Theresa May said. They don't read the Quran. I'll debate them publicly. They can't read. You, the Bokraris, that's one thing I respect about Britain's First. They've actually gone out the way to read the Quran. And if you notice, when they quote at these Muslims, they go violent. That's one thing I love about Britain First. They actually read the Quran. Unlike these damn leaders. Because all they are drunk with oil. Where's the oil? They'll suck a dick for oil. That's how nasty our Western leaders are. No morals. They'll put their nation in jeopardy. Put their nation in fear. In danger. Just for want of an Arab dirty oil. But you have to wake up, Britain, America, and Paris. Look what's happening in Paris. Look at the Muslim Paris, romantic Paris. Ooh. William Shakespeare would have put Romeo and Juliet in Paris. Most beautiful scenic. Along the gondola, beautiful lake. And the Muslim terrorized it. They don't believe in romance. All they want to do, put up the mosque everywhere and the ugly pictures. If we don't put a stop to it. I made a video in 2007 and I warned you that Britain will have Sharia law. I'm sure somebody who's followed me on YouTube in 2007 will vouch for that video. In fact, somewhere online somewhere. When I find it, I'll re-upload it on here. A prediction I made that Britain will be under Sharia law in 2007. I made a prediction during my Christmas speech. And do you know something? I was right. The year later, in 2008 or 9, the Prime Minister, I'm not sure if it's told him at the time, said that there's nothing wrong with Sharia law being implemented with British law. And I'm warning you, you give these Muslims a fingernail, they'll take your whole hand off. Your country's gone. Look at Paris. Paris is the most romantic country on earth. And look at it. I wouldn't go there. Like go to Pakistan. Beautiful Paris. Oh, God save those French people from the horrors. From the horrors. The French were known for philosophy and discussion in an open cafe. There's the dialogue. Now all these bombs going off. People are fighting to survive. That'll be England. It's already happening in London. It's already happening in Bradford. Muslim patrol areas. Can't we see what the government's doing to us? They've got to be accountable. No way no Muslim will tell me I can't have a bottle of wine in my hand. They go to hell. Don't tell me what to do. I'm on your goddamn Muslim law. I'd come back, oh, you don't know what with. You don't mess with me. We're a bunch of cowards. That's what we are, cowards. We've allowed our government to have our hands tied backwards. We're supposed to be free people under democracy, not under Islam. When can we be men and stand up and be tall and fight back? When? We're cowardly. That's what we are, cowardly. Britain used to have the church bells ringing on a Sunday morning. Cling, 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 cling. Beautiful sound. The sound of hope, family, values. What's happened to Britain? What's happened to Britain? All this Muslim has done is created a lot of racial hatred. A lot of racial hatred. I too missed when England was England. I too miss it. I'm a poet, if you probably couldn't guess. I'm a poet. I miss the Algarve's green and pleasant land. William Blake's land of hope and glory. I miss those beautiful words. Those arias where everything made sense. Okay, politics always was dirty. But at least in your house, there was a sense of order. In your neighborhood, there was a sense of peace. And that's been taken away from us. That's been taken away from us. Because we've been brainwashed. Or if we say the wrong word, you're a racist. You say the wrong word, you're homophobic. You say the wrong word, you're sexist. They got us living in fear and we can't see what's going on. Can't you see it? While the Muslims are getting together, the rest of us are going that way. We're sexist, we're homophobic, we're racist. So while we're going that way, the Muslims are coming together. Can't we see the game that's being played? Can't we see the game? While you don't trust women, the women don't trust men. The blacks don't trust whites, the whites don't trust blacks. The disabled don't trust whites, the Muslims are having a good time. The system knows how to play you for a sucker. And while you're looking at who you think is the enemy, you don't realize slowly by slowly they're allowing the Muslims to take over your turf. Just give them oil and they'll leave you to it. Why? Maybe they want to cut population. Maybe that's their way of ending your mortal life. Who knows? They're always going about population control. And what better way than to bring in the Muslims to bloodbath us all? You have a right not to pay your council tax if you feel the government has not honoured their service to you. No law is going to take that. They're all in it together. No full of shit. Don't let the government take your vote for sucker. You've got to raise this issue. If I vote for you, what are you going to do about this Muslim problem? Don't let your votes be cheap. Of course they're going to lie to you. That's why you have to take strong measures. Strong measures. It hits them. Money always hit them. They worship money. You got to hit them in the pocket. And trust me, they will do something about this virus. And it is a virus. And it's spreading. You go to Muslim areas. You go to certain parts of London.
Right, we're here in central London in Whitehall. We're going down to Downing Street because there's apparently 2,000 Muslims there who are protesting at the Charlie Hebdo cartoons. Regardless of the mass murder, the gross insensitivity of doing something like this, they're still turning up to protest at a few cartoons. Meanwhile, they don't care about ISIS or Muslim extremists around the world burning people, shooting people, beheading people. They're here to protest at some cartoons, so we're going to go down there and tell them that they're not welcome in the heart of our capital city. This is what the Muslims are giving out. We've just confronted a few of their leafleters. That's what we think.
Scum! Off our streets! Terrorist scum! Off our streets! Terrorist scum! Off our streets! Terrorist scum! Support terrorism and murder! It's disgusting!
Hold them there.
Taliban scum! Off our streets! Taliban scum! Off our streets! Taliban scum! Off our streets!
The publishing of the cartoons related to our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We here today condemn this act, and every such act, we need to clearly understand that freedom of speech does not mean that we
Charlie Hebdo, because of a cartoon that was drawn of their false prophet who was a paedophile. Charlie Hebdo also drew a cartoon of Jesus Christ. Tell me how many Christians went into those offices and killed people.
Right, as you can probably hear, the chants of the Muslim extremists here to support the Charlie Hebdo killers and to condemn anyone who posts satirical cartoons about the Prophet Muhammad. Now, while we just captured footage, unfortunately they are right behind the memorial to the women of World War II. Just turn around and have a look at that memorial. We just captured footage of some of these Muslims kicking the poppy wreaths that were at the base of this memorial. These people don't belong in this country. They're vermin. They're disrespecting our war dead. They're disrespecting our war heroes. And we're here today, only 30 of us, to show them, regardless of odds, regardless of the fact there's 3,000 of them across the road, that we're here, we don't care about the odds, we're here to oppose them.
This is absolutely disgusting. These brave women that this statue, this memorial is up for, is being trodden on, they're walking around, they're kicking wreaths. This just goes to show they have no respect for this country. Okay, so as you can hear, there are thousands of Muslim extremists currently standing on the streets of London. This is a really sad day for Britain because this doesn't resemble the London that I was born and bred in. There are thousands of Muslims standing across the street condoning the terrorist attacks that took place in the Charlie Hebdo offices because of cartoons that were drawn about a false prophet who is known to be a paedophile. They're standing there saying that democracy equals insulting Islam. This is just outrageous, and the fact is there's about 30 Britain First members here standing against about 3,000 Muslims. We have police all over us and the Muslims are literally running across the street, but we're not going to move, we're not going to budge because this is our country. Now we would just like to make the point, as I've made in the past, that these cartoons were also drawn about Jesus Christ. As a Christian, I can tell you that there were no fellow Christians of mine that went into those offices and massacred people for a drawing. So this is what we're dealing with on the streets of London. You can see it here. As I say, it's a very sad day for London, but we will keep going because we won't allow these animals to stand here and preach their hatred. Every single one of you worships a paedophile!
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
We've just told these police officers if they don't remove those poppy wreaths, bring them round the other side where there are no Muslims, because the Muslims keep kicking them.
It's
being done. Because if you don't do it, then we will do it.
This is a crime. This officer here has just said it's not a crime. We know it's not a crime, but it's an outrage, isn't it?
You're a disgrace to the youth.
They're treading on the poppies of our dead. Like, this is outrageous.
We are not the ones who are innocent. We follow the middle way. For our Prophet, peace be upon him, urged the middle path. Do not let the minority who are not Muslims or Sunnis malign the religion of peace. Do not allow extremists to, whether they are social media, tabloid press, the media, right-wing, or those who falsely wear the garb of Islam, to defame the one who is more dear to us.
No, I'm not, man, I'm not.
ISIS scum!
Off our streets!
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 अमन यही है कि मुसलमानों की इज्जत और आबरू का ख्याल रखा जाए। हमारे आका मौला की जाते पाक ऐसी जाते कि जिसमें नाराज से हाथ न कीजिए। नारे तकबीर, नारे रिसालत, नारे रिसालत। बुलंद आवाज से सबने कहना होगा या रसूल अल्लाह, लब्बैक।
Your false prophet is rotting in the ground like a dead rat. God break.
Right, we're outside Downing Street, which is just over there. We've been here for 4 hours now. Our activists are tired, but we're not going anywhere until that Al-Qaeda, ISIS supporting rabble have dispersed from the area. As you can see, you've got the black flags up there. We've checked them on Google Images, etc. They are Al-Qaeda flags. There's no disputing it. We've checked them. They're Al-Qaeda flags in the middle of 3,000 Muslims who have been chanting extremist slogans all day. We're not going until they have left the area. We have had non-stop provocation all day. Muslims coming over, crowds of them trying to start trouble, trying to start fights. But we have held our ground, we are not moving, and we are here to stay until they move off.
Terrorist scum! Off our streets! Terrorist scum! Off our streets! Terrorist scum! Off our streets!
Off our streets!
This is our country.
Keep moving forward. Keep going.